Hello. Welcome. How's everybody today? I'm actually excited for today because I got all the cool things going on. I'm going to do... I need to get this one first to show you the examples. I'm going to do a butterfly assembly for one of RLB's butterflies for her kaleidocycle. I'm trying to get out deskies, but it's all in this little tiny bag. Only getting out one. I have two assembled for Desky butterflies for a kaleidocycle. I'm working on a third one, but that one's going to be stop motion, so otherwise I'd be working on that today. But Desky, Hote, RLB Creations, Jess, Junior Hippie, and Wrath Leader all have kaleidocycles that I need to be completed because they have completed their 18 months of paid subscriptions. They get 6 free triangles for having stuck around so long. And, yeah, they get turned into butterflies. So I'm working on the butterfly assembly method. I'm really liking it so far. I'm a little washed out, aren't I? I don't know. If it bothers me too much, I'll fix it. But, yeah. So we're making more butterflies, but since Desky's third one, like I said, is being used for a stop motion video that I'm making, I am not actually going to work on it on stream just because at every bead I put in, I have to get up, re-register the triangle, and then like take a photograph. So this is about as far as I've gotten. So the next bead I'll have to put it down on its spot at the exact angle and take a photo and put a bead in, re-register, take a photo, all the way for what I'm going to do today. I'm just going to go ahead and work on RLBs because this one isn't going to be stop motion. Like, I want to do stop motion for bits and pieces of different kaleidocycles just to practice, you know, because, I don't know, stop motion's always so cool. Let me put this where you guys can see it so you know what I'm working on. And also as a reference for me to point to my triangles in the correct direction. So I'm going to play around for a bit, see which ones need to be in the middle. Because when I make kaleidocycles, I like opposite sides to have similar patterns. I like to put like citruses opposite each other, or you know, if there's 2 fruits and 2 non-fruits, I like the 2 fruits to be opposite each other. I don't know. But like, in this one I wanted the onigiri and the pizza to be opposite each other, and I did. And I wanted the candy corn and the watermelon to be opposite each other, and I did. So figuring out that is the first step. So I know I want on RLBs the watermelon and the grapes to be opposite each other. I need a different grape. I need the long grape. Oh yeah, I need to change my lighting settings somehow. Knock the brightness down. I need to knock the brightness down. I know this isn't my usual stream day. I usually stream on Tuesdays, but I got scheduled to work. And with my manager's personal level of stress and all the things going on inside her own head, I didn't really want to bother her too much. That, and we're understaffed, so I don't want to like... Yeah. There are reasons. Okay, come on. Did need to knock the sharpness back up. Okay. Oh, saturation, sorry. I don't know, should I do a bit of... No. Yeah, maybe. Just a bit. I always play with my settings. Beadwork is really, really hard to capture on stream for anybody who's curious. So, yeah. Okay, that's better. Yeah, okay. But there's my butterfly reference. And I know I want these two to be opposite each other. And I want these two to be opposite each other. Some of them have seeds, some do not. I'm going to let the seeds fall randomly. But when it comes to the grapevine one, I'm going to alternate them in the same pattern. So I'll just start with the watermelons in the middle, and then I'll have, because it doesn't really matter what side the citruses fall on, just so long as they're opposite each other. And the hot corners pointed outwards, they're pointed inwards on this, they're pointed outwards on this, and that will be the butterfly. The fourth face goes in at the very end, and since this is the sides that I'm worried about are the ones I wait for last, so I don't want to like accidentally put them in the wrong direction. So these will go in last, but they usually end up like right here. They would be the top of your jellyfish if you were doing a jellyfish, but I'm not doing a jellyfish, I'm doing a butterfly, and it goes together different. So, and this is for RLB, and she requested green beads for her connection, so I'll be using these two. These will be the main color of beads, and this will be for the hinge, which matches the green that is actually in all three of these triangles here. The orange slice is the only one that doesn't have it, but it should still look good. Okay, anyway, so grabbing my 1G thread, which is this guy right here, and seeing how well it performs in kaleidocycle assembly. I don't think I've used 1G for kaleidocycle hinging and assembly. It should be okay. I know KO doesn't work. KO gets fragile. Sono does work, but I don't have a Sono that matches this because it'd have to be white, and white would show through too much. And you will need a size 11 needle. That's my assorted. This is my 11s. I use tulips. You can barely see that it says number 11, but it is Tulip brand. These are my favorite. They don't break very often. They don't bend very often. The eyes stay uncollapsed for years. So if I end up not having a tulip after a while, it's because I've lost it, which is not a good thing, but yeah, the eye on this one does seem to be a little bit thinner than most, but that's okay. We're good. I got it anyway. Okay. So this one's a short thread. It's just left over from an old project. But what I'm going to do is to start this off, I grab one of my edge beads, which is size 15. This is just a light green. It's the only like actual green size 15 I own. I didn't realize until this week actually that I didn't have 15s in green. It's just a color I forget to buy the most. I've done really good about beefing up my collection in size 11s and delicas, but I haven't done it in size 15s yet. So that'll definitely be the next 15 I buy, is a green. Maybe a gold too? Oh, maybe I should look for gold. No, I have gold. We're good. Oh, but as far as delicas go, in size 15, green and gold. And silver. But green for sure, and just regular size 15s. Okay, so I have it threaded on my needle. I'm gonna bring it about 3-4 inches from the end here. Leave myself a nice tail thread and pass through it twice. This will make it a stop bead. The only reason I don't do my normal lark's head knot start is because the holes of size 15s are very small. So this will stay to some extent. If you pull too hard, it will fall off, but it will stay to some extent. So what I'm gonna do is, this is where I start right here. It's in the middle of the butterfly. That's gonna be this hinge right here. So what I do is I start here, I go all the way around. You add a second row of 15s on this side, and then you add your top triangle, and then you add your bottom triangle, or vice versa really. Your top triangle, and then your bottom triangle, and then you come and add part of your hinge down here. So that's what I'm going to be doing on stream today before I switch to my other project. And it does go a little fast for me. It seems to go like faster than the other assembly methods I've used. So I'm just going through that bottom bead right there at the tip of my watermelon. I also let my watermelons fall in randomly, so the seeds are random even though the pattern's the same. So I'm just gonna come over here and just put a 15 in every space all the way around this triangle. And I really love the brightness of Deskie's orange butterfly. I'm curious to see how the green-edged butterfly goes with RLB's triangle selections. Yeah. Since I'm not making a triangle today, I will be connecting some before moving on to my other projects. Still working on sub stuff every single stream. Hope you guys don't get tired of triangles because I'm not stopping making them. I've got so many to catch up on. I have a few left to design that I haven't even gotten to yet, but that's part of the fun of it, is coming on a new pattern, because I like new stuff, new patterns. I don't always like making the same old, but I like returning to it occasionally. What is... I guess I did choose Chill Pop for Pretzel Rocks, so there we go. I think I'm going to choose something without lyrics, though. That station tends to have more lyrics than what I want. What happens if I click disco? I'm going to click disco. My lips are really dry. I have a fever blister, and so my lips always get dry when I have one. It's just mean. I also have a little bit of my rash coming up on my face, but if it's the diagnosis I think it is, it won't affect my face at all. I'm bringing it up with my doctor in my follow-up on Friday. So how's everybody doing? What are you guys up to? Did my live notification actually happen? I don't know. Yes, it went. Okay. Sure did. Okay. We are set. So it's actually been like a really decent week for me. Because I started, well, last week I was, oh no, I have two beads in the corner. I can't have that. Hello, Maggie. How you doing? How are you today? Last week I was off, and this week it's been really chill. It's actually been kind of dead at work. We also have like a lot of things we're out of, so people usually stay away for several days when we're out of their favorite ingredients, and then they come back. Good. How about you? I'm okay. I'm doing all right today. I think I have figured out what my skin condition is that's causing a bad rash. Like, you can't see it on camera very easily, but there's a little bit up here on my face. It's all over my back and chest. It has been since about Christmas week. I think I figured out the name of it. I'm going to confirm with my doctor when I go back. She had prescribed me a steroid for 5 days, which I took, which did help. And I've been Googling all the combinations of words. But I think I found what it is. It's how do you even pronounce this? Pityriasis rosea. It's kind of a mystery rash that shows up when you've had like a stomach virus, kind of like a herpes type virus. Kind of the kind of things that cause fever blisters. We think, because IXO just recovered from a case of shingles, we think maybe, because my body really, really, really loves herpes type viruses, but I've already had chickenpox, that it just kind of presented as this instead. It doesn't hurt, it doesn't itch most of the time. Like, there's like a little bit of irritation with clothing rubbing against it, but Other than that, no problems. Okay, I want to take my stopper bead off. Come on, be nice. Okay, maybe 1G wasn't the best option. And I'm gonna put that stopper bead back on, and I'm gonna tie an overhand knot just to keep this bit in place. And that way I didn't clog up any of the 15-ohs, because you really, really need them for assembly. And this has been the best method I've found so far of keeping the holes knot free and thread free for the most part, and keeping them secured in there. Ta-da! Okay. So with the butterfly assembly method of kaleidocycles, this is where it differs. Like usually what would happen is, in the past, so like the watermelon would be the top of the jellyfish. Oh geez, I gotta move them up. So the watermelon would be the top, the hinge would be here. I think these would point in that direction. I don't remember exactly. And these would point outwards. And then you'd have to keep this like bead free so that it could attach up into here. And yeah, the jellyfish is super confusing, but very sturdy, which is how I do most of my kaleidocycles. Well, now, this one, I don't remember how I assembled this one. I think I was still practicing with the jellyfish. This was before I did good hinges. As you can see, I've redone this hinge, but the other hinges were not good hinges. They were not big hinges. And so where the butterfly differs is that these are in the middle with the other bits on the side. And these ones point this way. And like the flower face, you add your fourth side in last, which is super handy. And the way to do that is when you fold this up, if you were to sew that fourth side into the beads that are already there, it would be very tight. And so what they've done is they've added an extra row of 15s for you to easily sew in your fourth side, because these beads are already filled with thread, the ones that the hinge is attached to, but these are not. And that's what I'm doing now, is I'm going to add those extra layer of 15s on just the side that takes the first hinge. Not both sides, not the side that takes the other hinge, just the side that takes the first hinge. Which is super, super important. Oh shoot, I never set up a command for the butterfly kaleidocycle. Let me find it real quick. bmobile.wordpress.com. Search for butterfly. This one. Here is the PDF for all the instructions for everything you need to know about assembling one of these. It's great. Take special note, like I didn't the first time, of the little diagram at the top of page, it says 25? I guess that's going to be page 25 in the book. With the little tiny box with the little tiny like red dots. That tells you which directions to point your hot corners in. Yeah, super important. Super important. Because otherwise, you won't end up with pieces that point towards the center. Hey there, hi Allie, how are you doing today? What are you up to? I'm doing the butterfly assembly for a kaleidocycle on stream today. And then hopefully, probably, getting around to my peacock I started a day or two ago? Was it 2 days ago? I don't remember. I'm getting him. I took a photo of him over here, so he's in the wrong spot now. Yeah. Ta-da! My embroidered peacock. His hand and foot Peacock. He's so cute and derpy and cartoonish, and he's huge in comparison to the hand turkey I made just over a year ago. Like, I use this to trace the hands onto the foot. So they're big. This guy is big. But look at this, the dragon scale texture, the dragon scale beads made the perfect feather texture. I knew it would, but just beading this part was just so fun, man. And then the toes and then the fingerprints are all round circles, you know, kind of like people's own fingerprints, you know. Fingerprints have hooks in them, but I just figured it'd be easier just to do circles, you know, to get the idea across. But it also is a peacock. It just, one of those dumb ideas. I doodled it out like last January, and I never got around to it. And then I was just commenting on someone else's, on Quirky Beadworks' recent moon piece that she did. Oh my gosh, that thing is huge and beautiful. I'm good, just resting and working on healing. Remind me. I'm trying to remember what operation you had. I know that you had an operation recently, right? Is that right? Was it... I want to guess a hysterectomy, but I'm not 100%. I think that was somebody else. That was BK a while back. No, maybe. I'm getting my people mixed up. Hysterectomy. Okay, yeah, I thought... I'm not insane. I did remember correctly, yeah. Take it easy. Do whatever the doctor needs you to do. I hope you heal well. Was it medically necessary or optional? I know that there's different things that can cause people to need to get one or want to get one, depending on who you are. There you go. You add 2 beads in here, just on the hinge row. That second row makes it so much easier to add your 4th side in over here, which I haven't done yet for deskies. Yeah, I hope you heal up and rest up as well as you can, as much as you need to, before being up and active again. All right, and then I'm going over the corner and then up to the next connection bead. And then this is where you start adding the other triangles. So you line it up and then you go through the next bead in the row, which is going to be the second one, not this first one. This first one you come back around and attach to here. It's always going to be the second bead on your next triangle. Yeah, I had fibroids. Oh, that sounds painful. Those are painful, right? I'm trying to remember. That does not sound like a fun time. I know that the most of the time when somebody gets a hysterectomy, it's because of it being medically necessary. I know other reasons are because somebody chooses not to have kids anymore. And also for trans men who are going all the way. Getting all the surgeries. I only know of one in person that has gone that far, or is about to. I don't remember. Yeah, they can be. Okay, but they're not always painful. Gotcha. So I'm just zipping up these edge beads to this next side, and then once I reach the end and the corner here, I'm going to have to add more green beads. And I'm using green thread to match and also to increase the color of these, since they are transparent and they are color lined. But the thread color does still affect your beads when they're that finish. Luckily, the hospital food has been good today. Oh, goodness. That's good. So I guess you're watching maybe on your phone. I doubt you can cast anything to hospital televisions. I hope your stay is very safe, very not having to be around too many people. Or too many people coming in and out of your room. And then I hope that they get to discharge you pretty soon. Pretty quickly. That you heal normally. Yeah, on mobile. That makes sense. I hope you have your phone charger with you too. I know you do probably, but I hope it's there with you too. They let you bring a project to work on or no? Or did family bring you something to work on or read or whatever? Alright. See, this goes pretty fast because the triangle's already made. You're just connecting them. And the good thing about, the connecting of a kaleidocycle is just that, is the triangles are made individually and sturdy and cut off, and you're just using a separate thread entirely to assemble it. Luckily, this is just a women's hospital, so not really busy. Okay, cool. So it's a place where they specialize in those types of needs. Gotcha. I have my Princess Lunacell to work on. Oh, sweet. I'm glad you have something, because I know that there's only so much TV you can watch or so much, scrolling on your phone that you can do before you're like, okay, I need something fun and creative to focus on. So on this one, the limes are going to be my bottom triangle. I need to remember that. I should probably leave more of a tail thread for this. That would be a better idea in future. That way I can just do the hinge when it's necessary. Because I don't like reweaving back to have to go do the hinge. So I'm going to keep turning around this corner and going to attach the lime on the other side here. Ooh, I really like that green around the watermelon though. It's okay around the orange. It is thankfully a lighter color. But yeah, I asked everybody who is finished what color that they want around the edges of their triangles, just to add that much more personalization, like a favorite color or something they think they would like to look at or something they think would match. Blue Feather. Trying to stay online for 4 hours so I can prime sub when it's free live. I see. Gotcha. How are you doing today, Blue Feather? What else are you up to? I'm just beading away. Happily beading away. A day late, but I got scheduled wrong, so I'm gonna keep an eye on my schedule for the next couple of weeks, That revolving door keeps revolving, and so. But I like mid-shifts better, so I hope she keeps me on mid-shifts. Because there's only so much closing one person wants to do. Eating an orange. My bike and new chair comes in tomorrow. Oh, that's cool. I have an apple over here that I've been snacking on, but not gonna do that on stream. It'll just get a little brown. Okay. Oh yeah, guys. I got my thread magic in. I'm so excited. It seems... So, I put the little bit of Thread Heaven that's left on here. And it's obviously darker and grosser. It's the same color. The Thread Magic is the same color as the Thread Heaven was when I got it. This is just dirt and grime being worn into it over 6 years worth of time. So this should last me a minute. So $8 for like 6 years is definitely a decent investment, but it always seems like, man, I don't want to spend $8. So I'm just gonna do this. You're supposed to like close the lid and then pull it through. It has the little tiny holes at the bottom so that your thread still fits in there. But I don't necessarily want to do that every time. So far it seems to function the same. The texture is a little tiny bit more waxy, but that could just be because it's new. But it seems to perform the same way, which is super cool, super neat. I'm excited about that. I'm glad to have new wax in. I would say it is a fair substitute for Thread Heaven for those of you who did love it. It is a discontinued item now. Thread Magic seems to be available at most of the bead retailers, so waxy string. No, it doesn't actually leave you that weird waxy tackiness that you get with beeswax. That's the entire purpose of the thread, is to wax your thread. I mean, of this stuff, but is to wax your thread, but without leaving the weird sticky residue, because the beads will stick all over the place to each other when you do use beeswax, which I have done in the past, and it's just like, I don't like this. But yeah, and Thread Heaven isn't just for beaders, it's mostly marketed to them though. I know that there are lots of cross stitchers out there who also use it to detangle and defray their threads. So hope you guys don't mind the disco-ness. Just wanted something slightly upbeat today, so. Ow. Poking myself. I really should have left like a full-size tail thread. Just because of the thread path that I follow and the fact that I leave my tail threads at my hinges. And also because I'm going to have to like close them up. So I want to have tail threads left over. Like, I know I could just not close them up, but I want the tail threads left over. Ooh, I'm excited to see what these all turn into. I'm so happy. I know. I probably shouldn't do like a whole butterfly assembly per stream, but it's like this is the first one I've done of this set, so I kind of want to. Should probably just do half butterflies each. Take about the same amount of time. It's just making a triangle, but ugh. Dude, it's so cool seeing all of these start coming to life, like actually start to be a finished piece after so long of you guys just hanging out and chatting with me. Like, that's just so unreal. It's very, very unreal. I'm glad I chose to do long-term sub projects just for that reason, just because it's like watching your friendship blossom. Hello, Desky. How are you today? I'm sorry I'm not yet working on yours, but yours is the example butterfly. So, your third one, I have 2 of them done. The other one's in the bag. Your third one is being stop motioned, so that's why I'm not beating it, because it's not done either, but it's being stop motioned and it's its own project right now. So I'm working on RLBs. And the reason I chose hers is, even though hers and Jess's were done like right next to each other in time, Jess chose clear beads for her edging, and I know that won't show up as well on stream, so that's why I chose RLBs instead. Everybody's gonna get one. It's like a simultaneous 4-project thing going on. So I really like these. I might need to see about making them. Oh, I have the instructions. I need to make a command for it. Oh, let me just do that. Just hold on. Give me a sec. I would suggest the butterfly assembly method for beginners. The top of page 25 is the really, really important bit. I love contemporary geometric beadwork, but they get a little excited in the applications and making, like, they made this one look specifically like a butterfly. So if you want it to look like a butterfly, go ahead and follow their charts. If you want it to actually cycle with the points turned inwards in certain places, then follow the teeny tiny diagram on the top of page 25 to get your pieces pointed correctly, because I didn't have my snowflakes pointed correctly the first time. I had to take it apart and redo it. But, yes. Can you send in Discord? My phone won't pull it up. Yeah. I'm also making a command for it too. I'm going to make the command, and then I'll send you the link in just a second. But yeah, learn how to assemble a kaleidocycle of your own. Can you make peyote triangles? Here's a beginner-friendly. And there's, like, the flower faces in here too, which is good in its own right for different reasons. I would suggest the butterfly assembly if you're making a kaleidocycle. The flower face works if you're making a bangle or a kaleidocycle, but the hinges aren't sturdy. I've tried that method. I really like it, but it's not good for sturdy hinges, and you need sturdy hinges if you're going to play with this a lot. So, beginner-friendly method. Exclamation point butterfly. Let me make sure the command works, and then I'm messaging you, Allie. There you go. So exclamation point butterfly for the instructions on how to do this. Perfect, huh? Okay. Discord, message Allie. Oh no. Give me a second. There you go. All right, your message on Discord. Lots and lots of beads to use. You sure do. Yeah. I find this method pretty easy, pretty beginner friendly, which I think is a super important part. Okay, so I'm reinforcing this bit, and then I'm going to hop to the other side and add the other hinge beads over there. But yeah, because I would not say kaleidocycles are a very beginner friendly method of beading whatsoever. Like, yes and no. Like, if you know how to make peyote triangles and you have the patience to figure out oddly worded instructions, then yes. But it is all open source and free information that you can have to your heart's content. but I might, because it opens as a PDF. I might have to link you to the blog post itself. I don't know. We'll see. Let me know if that works. If it doesn't work, I'll just go to the blog post itself like I have for the other one. Okay. So I was just reinforcing here. I don't want to go through these beads again, but because I'll still need them in the future, and 15s, you know, are smaller. The holes are smaller, so you want to preserve as much thread passing through as you can, especially when they're super important for assembly like this. So what I'm doing is I'm actually just skipping through the middle of the triangle, because I'm aiming to go over here. I'm just skipping through the middle of this triangle to keep myself from filling up the size 15 beads. And yeah, my thread is just about toast. It's tired. And then how many did I add? I added like 1 row of the delicas where the hinge is gonna be, because the hinge is 3 rows. It's 4, 5, and 4 of the delicas. Like, the instructions call for just 1 row of hinge beads of just like the 4. I'm like, if it were all this size, you know, if it's more, it's more. If it's less, it's less. I'm like, in my experience, making kaleidocycles with hinges that small just results in thread tension, and I don't want to do that. So I always make bigger hinges. You can make everything be seamless with the patterns that you're making, or you can make them contrast. I like the contrast. I think it's fun. But I think this butterfly assembly might be a game changer. It really, really might. So there you are. But since I want to be pointed downwards with my thread, and because I want to not lose beads, I tie a half hitch knot here in between beads. And then I just reinforce this bit right here. So I just reinforce all the green beads, and then I exit the other one. I exit the 15 actually at the end, because you need 5 beads on the next row of this hinge. And these come into play later. I'm not even at that point with the first one I tried, but you just exit there, and your butterfly's half done, and I'm leaving the thread. Ta-da! Seems like you've had less moments of confusion with it. That's probably true, but also I've had practice assembling them enough to where I kind of know what's happening. So I think it's a combination, honestly. But yeah, the jellyfish is definitely, even every time I did it, I was like, wait, I think I did something wrong. So I think you're right. I think there are fewer moments of confusion. I especially love this part. Oh my gosh, because when you fold up this and you get your other one in there, you can just use this side to attach to here, and this side is left free for the hinge, or vice versa. I think it's vice versa. I think this side I'm using for the hinge, and this side is free. So I'm actually doing it that way. And it just pops right in. Or you could leave it empty, depending. Or you could do that weird triangle thing that I did, where I made the mini triangles that fit inside the bigger triangles for that kaleidocycle, and it was just kind of like a color show peephole. Do you guys remember that one? That was cool. That was fun. Or you could leave secret messages inside. Or you could make it just like a little hinged box thing. That'd be cool too. That might be fun. There's a lot you could do, but I'd probably try more of the experimental stuff with a bigger cycle just so that there's more space in there to play around with. I do remember that one. That was so many tiny baby triangles. But I think the butterfly assembly is going to be my best friend when it comes to the Kaleidocycle bracelet that I want to make too. That I have started making and have not finished making. But yeah, so the other one's just going to go just like that. Ta-da! Okay, yeah. I think I might just only do half a butterfly per stream just so I can get to my other project because I love him. And I also need to get up and take a break. But yeah, half butterfly assembly for RLB. I do the same thing for the other side. The only difference is that I add the hinge in the middle here for you guys. I don't know. Like, I kind of want to continue this, but no, I want to be my peacock. He's calling out for me. But yeah, let me clean up my butterfly, put my needle away, and then we'll switch to the other project. But yeah, just wanted to show you guys, so far, this is a good method. I like it. I really recommend it for somebody who's never made a Kaleidocycle before already, and I haven't even finished this one. There's so much less confusion. There's still a little confusion. Be mindful of your hot corners. The jellyfish assembly method explains hot corners a lot better than the butterfly assembly method does. Butterfly assembly method assumes you already know what your hot corners are and just has a little tiny section dedicated to that. But that's actually, yeah, the only bit I'm like, what's going on here? So for the seeds in the citrus, I'm actually going to let them fall just randomly. So if they end up next to each other, they end up next to each other. If not, they don't, kind of like in real oranges. And same with like the watermelons. It's like whenever I pick it up, that's just going to be whatever side ends up on the hinge is the side that it ends up on the hinge, I kind of like having that randomness aspect. But with the grapevine, I am alternating on purpose the big ones and the little ones because that's the pattern I made specifically. So that's one half of a butterfly for RLB. I also do think it's cool because you can make actual just butterflies as jewelry if you want, just ta-da. Big ass earrings, I guess, but I'm sure somebody would wear them. Or a headband. I think a headband would be cute. Headband. Or bow tie. It would actually make a nice bow tie. Bad. But yeah, there you are. Ta-da! Half ta-da! Oops. Spill my beads everywhere. It's a pretty cute way to make butterflies. Agreed. I totally agree. Because, here, there it is. Because here is the actual PDF. This is the flower face bit, which is good in its own right. It's not the bit I want, though. And they designed it to actually look like butterflies' wings. I still would have chosen a different pattern as an example illustration if it had been me. But it does look like a butterfly too. You could add specific colors for the body. You could make a little tiny head and have antenna. But yeah, they made it to look like a butterfly when it's flat, which just means it has just patterns when it's folded up. So Could be a cute little beaded garland of butterflies. Desky, don't give me ideas. You. Too much going on. I like the headband though. Just like a little wire headband for a little girl, you know, just boop. Or a little pearl. And a big pearl. Oh. Ixo put her in here today. Yeah, I'm cleaning up my beads. Okay. I'm really happy with it. I'm really liking how it's coming together so far. And Desky, I'm really liking the stop motion bits I have of yours so far. I have about 25 frames, I think, and I have perfectly registered the triangle every time. It's great. I love it. Ugh. Yeah. I'm not very far on yours, obviously. Because I gotta stop and take a picture every single bead. But this is as far as I've gotten on that third butterfly. Oh, that bright orange makes me so happy, though. I'm kind of curious to see how the beads make a huge difference, you know. And I know you guys don't have any of the same ones, but just in general, the look of what this one is going to be versus what this one is going to be. Curious. Oh, dude, I'm really glad I put the lime on the bottom instead of on the top, because those greens would touch and be weird and zigzaggy. It'd be very confusing pattern-wise to have them next to each other. But yeah. The grapes will just slot in here when I'm ready for them. That seems to be correct, yes? Yes. Yeah, that's the right way. I'm always saving my hardest, most difficult patterns for the pieces that slot in on top too, just so I can see visually where they go when I'm all putting it together-ish. Oh, my brain has just been nerding out about hard, difficult beadwork and hard, difficult laser puzzles. I've been playing the Talos Principle on and off the last week or so. It was one of my Christmas gifts from Ixo, was a download on GOG. And it's just such a cool game so far. But I really like puzzle stuff. I would say that it's slightly more challenging in some aspects than Portal was. But it's also been several years since I've played both Portal games. And I totally like the item description for, there's an item in the Talos Principle called a hexahedron. And you get an achievement at one point when you first unlock it. And the entire description is, you know what this does. You know what this is for. You know, because it's very, very obviously a not companion cube. And they know it. But there's also other little tiny tongue-in-cheek references to other stuff that the developers have put in there. You know, if you accidentally find the robot heaven, it's very definitely, you know, the creator's, you know, playground, basically. And then just the little signage that's all around the little tiny robot heaven thing is just full of the creators just joshing at each other, making references to other stuff. It's fun. And I really particularly like the star puzzles because there are aspects where you have to use the lasers from other levels to unlock parts of the level you're in. It's that puzzle all the way across the way is the only one that has a red light. This puzzle only has blue lights. But this lock is red. How do I get this stupid thing open, you know? It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. I love it. And the difficulty of the puzzles increases, but I'm terrible at puzzle games. I love them. I love them so much. I have my square one right here. The difficulty of the puzzles increases, but every puzzle gives you what you need to solve it. Like there's you know, they're all solvable. You just gotta figure it out. Some of them have me stumped. This square one, I can't ever remember how to get back to a square. It's been like since high school since I actually solved it. I have solved it a couple of times. You know, back when I figured out whatever the secret was. But once you get it back to square, it kind of solves like a 3x3. Almost all Rubik's puzzles have some aspects that are similar to a 3x3. But it doesn't want me to get it back to square, and I don't remember how. So I'm trying not to look it up. I'm just coming back to it every now and then and being like, how did this get back to the right shape? Because they're all three supposed to be, you know, square. You have to get back to square one, and then you can solve the puzzle. But I don't remember how to make the weird shapes turn into the correct shape. Okay, that just turns back to itself. You can't even really begin to attempt to understand it until you realize what order of the shapes you have to put them in order to go back to normal. Because it matters, like, how you line up the shapes to get them back. Why am I doing this on stream? I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it at this one though, because this shape is definitely more common. And be right back. Yeah, I gotta get up and stretch. So I think I got those colors back where they should be. Oh, thanks. Yeah. So I just kind of naturally rotate my projects, you know, it's just kind of an unconscious thing of, ooh, this is grabbing my attention right now. And I don't really force myself to finish projects unless I have an external deadline. Which is how some of them don't even start, is because I don't have an external deadline. But, yeah, I was just commenting in Dawn's Discord several days ago saying, give me a deadline for the Peacock. And she said, January 20th. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll start it. Lurking and stitching. All right. Enjoy your stitching, Allie. I'll be back shortly, and I will be stitching on this guy. I haven't done bead embroidery in a minute, but quirky beadwork posting new projects has inspired me to get back to this goofy little guy. He's so cartoonish. I love him. So I might keep the camera where it is. I might zoom out. I'm not sure yet, but I do gotta sit up, stand up, walk about for a little bit, do some stretches, maybe take ibuprofen or leave. I think I have a leave. Okay. That can go over there. This can go over here. And I'm gonna go that way. So I'll be right back. Let you position him to where he'll look at you right when we come back. If I can find my right seat. There you go. Be back in a bit. return. Welcome. Welcome back. How is everybody? Okay, Deskie's back now. Working and stitching. You have an hour before you can get us, US, something else. What do you mean, Allie? An hour before what? Alright, so I am working on the Peacock. I really love the dragon scale texture for the feathers here. Oh my gosh, these turned out to be the best choice. And they fit in pretty well together. They do have a little bit of they bump up when they're snug close. So they do have a little bit of an overlapping effect. I try not to get them too close so that wouldn't happen all the time, but they do raise up a little. There you go, you can see that. The little up bump bits from them being stitched so close to each other. I like that the toes look like toe prints and that the fingers have little fingerprints. Oh, before you can get up and try to move. Gotcha. All right, yeah. Just stitch for the hour, it'll fly by. Yeah. Don't try to move yet. But that's actually pretty fast though, right? Like same day, you can get up and walk around. That's kind of cool. Good proof. I have a little button eye. It's not glued down, so if I stitch around it, I'll either have to glue it down first or just be careful where I put my stitches. But when I put buttons in like this one has a relatively short shank. I just cut a slit in the fabric itself, and then I just stitch through the shank. And it doesn't have a very raised bit, especially once you put the backing on. You don't even feel it. So thankfully, with glass buttons, they usually have very short shanks, so I just do that. With like metal shanks, they will stick through more, so I just try to choose glass shanks. This one happened to be the best fit button. There were all sorts of other options that just looked kind of weird or looked okay, but not what I was after. I like the cartoony look of this because, Hand Turkey was... I gave him a googly eye. It's just a size, looks like an 8-0 and then a teeny tiny, it's like size 22 bead. But, just the one little tiny bit of expression, which I thought was great. Edging is a little iffy. I don't know if I'm going to leave the edging like that or if I'm going to try to brick stitch in 15s or something. Have not decided yet. I'm not there yet. I haven't looked at enough other beadwork to see if it looks nice with 15s on the outside of the French wire. We'll see. Because this style of embroidery where you use the French wire for the line work has gained popularity like crazy in the last several years. It's kind of the method that the Russian artists are using now for smaller work. And yes, this would be small work for Russian artists, just on the whole. But yeah, the French wire has picked up a lot in popularity for bead embroidery, and it just seemed to be like a universal choice. Kind of like how brick stitch pixel art seemed to just be a universal thing that happened. That seemed to stem from France, actually. This seemed to stem from Russia. For the wearable brooches, the big ass wearable brooches on like your outer clothing, like your coats and stuff. Yeah. Took me forever to realize they were brooches because of coats. I don't live anywhere where it's cold, so I don't think to make brooches to put on top of exterior clothing. It's just not something I do. This goldish green, actually yellowy green, is actually in a bead soup mix, which I have separate from the rest. So I'm doing 2 needles. If you're wondering why there's 2 needles, I'm doing 1 needle to lay the beads down, and the other needle to couch them down every 2 beads. I'm just trying to practice with 2 needle beadwork. It is a lot smoother line work in general. Like, it's hard to tell when you're making it, but if you make the same piece with one needle and two needles, the two needle is always going to look cleaner. So it does make the piece take longer, but this is just something to make me happy. Just a personal project in between all my weird obligations. And so I'm just making it for fun, really. Oh, no, I got one. Wrong one on there. So I'm just going to guess about 12 beads. Well, let's see, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, probably 12. I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I just pick out the color I want from a bead soup. This got sold to me as a bead soup. They are Toho. They look around size 10, but they could be Toho 11s that just gear more towards 10. It's hard to tell. I bought 3 mixes at one point for not a lot at when we did have a bead store here. And so move those aside. Oh jeez, I've crowded myself into a corner again. Alright, so I slid them down. And when you're working in small spaces, it's a lot harder to keep your beads lined up. But I just make sure my thumb is pressed up against where the beads end. And then I just set that needle aside and I get my other needle. It's coming from underneath. And I couch it down, which just means to tack it in place to stitch it down. Which this is handy if you have like itty bitty tiny beads, like size 22s that you can't get your needle through but once. And any other beads that you have trouble getting your needle through twice, you can use them in embroidery like this and only have to pass through them once, maybe twice at most. So I'm just sticking my needle down where that second bead is. And it gets tacked in place. And just readjust my beads to see how they curve now that that's tacked in place, because it does change the curve a little bit. And then bring the needle up where the next two end and tack it down. I'm doing 2 rows of this weird greenish gold, and then I'm switching to, I think, a purple next for the inside bit. Okay, looks like 12 beads is too many already, so I'm just gonna take my needle back through there and take those 2 off of this thread. Set the top needle aside again, go back to the bottom needle, come back up where there's 2. And this is most traditionally, I think, done with 2 needles in like Native American work. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows better, but that's where I've seen it done the most. And some people can just get really, really fast at two needle beadwork. I am not there yet. I've been practicing on and off with my embroidery pieces throughout the last couple years. I know that my hand turkey was done with 1 needle, and you can see how wobbly the lines get, and that's even after going back through them and reinforcing that line. They get wobbly. I don't have any examples on me where I've done it with 2. Does that mean my embroidery sells? I haven't thought of that. But if you want to paint with beads, this is the way to do it, guys. I'm actually using a lilac KO thread. Hey yo, hello friendly pyro, how are you today? What are you up to? Welcome in. I am playing with beads myself. What are you up to today? I'm doing 2 needle beadwork, which is not my favorite thing in the world, but something to get better at. When you've been beading for 18 years, you got to get better at something, right? So there we go. Doing well, making some late lunch. I haven't had lunch yet. I had cottage cheese and pineapple for breakfast, but I have not had lunch. Oh, that last one is not tacked down. Okay. Yeah, I should have lunch at some point, but it'll just happen after I'm done streaming. Whenever I get tired, so. Tacking that last one down. Taking the top needle. And just going back through the row. It kind of helps smooth it out a little. But these beads are a little bit big, so that the bigger the beads, the chunkier the line work. So the smaller the beads, the smoother your line work too, in general. These little feather circles are looking great. I wanted them to look like fingerprints. Yeah, I'm gonna put I think a magenta in the middle is what the next color is. Sad this one's not going to be a full circle just because, oh well. It's just not. But I wanted them to look, you know, like fingerprints do. Because they are handprint turkeys and footprint turkeys. I wanted all the digits to look like prints. Not turkey. This was the turkey. This is the peacock. This is the turkey. He was still fun. I still like him. He's so derp. He's my lurky turkey. That's really cool. Thank you. I have derpy ideas. I made the... Oops, I didn't go down through it. I wrapped my thread around it. One sec. I made the turkey in November of 2019. I think I was probably late for Thanksgiving, so we probably got finished around December. But I doodled in my notebook the idea for the peacock because we were brainstorming ideas of what else we could do in this style, you know, like what can you do with a footprint, you know? And we came up with peacock, jeez, brain. And so these are going to look like feathers. And then I don't know what to do with the rest of his neck and face, if I should continue this up, because if I did that, I would actually run out of beads. And I can't source these locally. I'd have to order more. And I haven't ordered them online. I just bought them at a bead store in Dallas. Dragon scales. That's actually what they're called. They're dragon scales. And I did use them on a dragon recently, but I mailed it away. And I used it as a feather texture for his chest. I don't know that it would look good all the way up, so I'm holding off this area for a while. I don't know what would look the best. If it would be lines of beadwork that would look the best. If it would be kind of like a bead soup. If it would be these dark blue hematite beads. Those might look nice, just as kind of a smooth but bulky texture all the way up his face. I don't know. So I'm finishing the fingerprints first, which are the feathers. You know, they are the traditional peacock feathers. These dark lines are going to be the stems. And then this is going to be infilled with, I'm probably doing hex beads for all of this. But yeah, I'm not 100% there on the rest of this. I'm just doing the parts I know what I want to do. Drink water. Okay, drink water. Thank you, bye. The toes are gonna dangle, yeah. Sounds like a fun time experiment. It is. It's really fun. I play with stupid, silly beadwork all the time. My slideshow is frozen on the King of All Cosmos, and if between this and that wasn't enough to tell you that I do dumb beadwork, then I don't know what is. Typically, I make kaleidocycles. These are for subscribers. And I just finished up assembling part of one earlier on stream. These are food. But I like to do the weird, off-kilter, strange, contemporary beadwork things. You know, they're not all sellable, but I don't care. I have fun. Be in and out for a bit while I cook. All right. Chat when you can. Enjoy stream. Enjoy meal prep. Have a good time. Glad to have you here anyway. That's what I figured. Yeah, they are going to dangle. I don't know how. So like jump rings would make sense, but jump rings would only make sense if I bead edged the whole thing, if I brick stitch edged the whole thing. Because then that'd be easy to attach jump rings. But I could do French wire attachments as well. I don't know. I like the idea of jump rings because of the free movement, yeah. But I could also put mop and glow on the connections of the jump rings so that they don't come undone. Because that's the fear with jump rings, is that they just slide between a thread and fall off and you'd lose a toe. That'd be bad. You'd lose a little tootsie. I don't want that to happen. Okay, so I am switching to, I think this was the color I was choosing next. Yeah. I'll still need that green gold for the next one though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just aim for 10. I probably won't fit all 10 in there. Let's go for 8 actually. That might work. But yeah, the free moving of the toes for the jump rings would be ideal. But yeah, I just kind of design on the fly most of the time. Not really. Yeah, I'll put 10 on there and see if I need less later. Yeah. I don't fully think a project through, because if you do that, sometimes you just don't finish because of how much work it's gonna be. Sometimes people are scared of work. Let's see, what if I go the opposite direction? Am I... Nah. And I am using my felt as pen cushion. Just my needle minder is elsewhere at the moment. I just hooked the turkey onto... He just grabbed the turkey. Okay, he's going over there. We'll bring him out to play later. 2 needles is fun, guys. It's real fun. Oh no. Okay. Get... Do I need a 3rd bead in there? Oh, come on. Ugh. It hates me. Oh, man. I probably should have gone the other direction. I'm gonna go the other direction for this one. You know, one needle stitching is so much easier, but I need the practice. As if making stuff on stream wasn't hard enough. I need the practice with harder techniques. I'm sure it's so much easier in bigger spaces too, so I'm actually gonna fix my face camera while I'm looking at it. I'm a little dark. Sun is changing, it's headed down. Woo. There you go. Better. really highlights my terrible fever blister. I don't have makeup, so I don't conceal my face wounds. Sorry. What's the benefit of 2 needle stitching? Smoother line work. So you see how nice and pretty and neat these circles ended up? I'm having a little trouble because I'm streaming today, but I know for a fact that I made the hand turkey with 1 needle stitching, and it's a lot wobblier, even though the beads are smaller. If I had done this with 2 needles, the lines would have been perfect. Oh, I have a better example. Let me go to my Instagram. Let me find a couple pieces that I've done with 2 needles. Time to scroll. Let's go back through. 2 needles, where are you at? I know the sunflower bracelet for sure, and then the earrings I got commissioned as well. But finding either of them is gonna be a second. All right, here you go. Here's the earrings. Bop. That was done with 2 needles. I think that was the first one I did with 2 needles. But the lines are super, super fluid, and you can definitely see it better when you're working the whole piece. I remember those. I remember them too. I remember she really likes them. Yeah, there was the in progress of it. But yeah, it definitely was a lot cleaner than when you do it with 1. Oh yeah, there's a sketch. So I think I did this guy with 1. And then sunflower was also done with 2 needles. You remember the sunflower desky? Allie made a pillow lap stand. Perfect. But yeah, the sunflower was definitely also made with 2 needles. The sunflower's first time I visited your stream. Was it? Oh my god. Yeah, sounds about right. What year was it? This was 89 weeks. Thank you. April 30th, 2019. Oh yeah. Yeah. That would have been... That was about close to the time that I made affiliate. Like, it was just before I made affiliate. Because I made affiliate roughly in May. So, yeah. Man, I forgot I had streamed the sunflower. That was back with all the laggy, terrible, buffering awfulness, wasn't it? I think I got rated over from Saren's stream and you were working on that. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how that went. I know you were in Saren's community, and I know I didn't interact with you in chat much at that point. But you kept asking questions in my stream, so that's how we got to know each other, was the sunflower. Man, I really love this bracelet. The customer really loved the bracelet too. I didn't mean to make a bracelet. I was commissioned to make a necklace, and it was pissing me off, and so I just doodled out a flat embroidered one, and I loved that better. And I finished this, and then I went back and finished the one that was making me mad. And she bought both. So she only intended to buy the necklace, but she bought the bracelet too. I'm like, I made this too. I was trying to test out which one I liked better. Which one do you like better? And she's like, I love them both. I'm buying them both. And I'm like, okay. I am not going to object to that. Okay. I really like those leaves. They're so pretty. And I did the branches one way, and then I did the line works around them another way. Like, I did the branches first, and then I filled in the gaps later, which I love doing that. I'm really tempted just to give up, but I'm not gonna give up. Okay, how about if I just hold the line straight this way? Doing this on stream is so much harder than it is just at night. And I'm just gonna go back down. I don't even care if it gets cut. Beads will cover it. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I really like those leaves too. Just, oh. I also really love that the sunflower petals are in an increment of 9, as they should be, as they are in nature. Okay, I didn't come up in the right spot. Come on. Further down. There we go. Ta-da! And then the other two. And over the thread. Come on, go in the right place. Okay, good, good. Maybe if I point it this way. No. How many will fit in here? 4? I think 4. I'm gonna stitch the thread down because it wants to keep popping up. I'm getting there. I'm getting the hang of it. Doesn't come easy. It's not very fun the first few times. I really like filling in big spaces with this though. Okay, it only wants 3 beads, not 4. I'll do 3. I'm gonna come up between 2 of them. Stitch that guy down. Come up here at the end and stitch this guy down. No, okay. I think I just stitched in between. One at a time. How picky. Desky. Oh, so I finally got someone with the Irish Gas Company, and it appears my email was used for a dummy account or something. They've removed my email from their list and are investigating the account. Interesting. So maybe change your email. I don't know. But so long as it's also not coming out of your bank account, that would be a terrible thing if that happened. Okay. All right. So I still have a couple beads left on, I don't know. I don't even know the right term for this. Lead line? Oh no, I'm taking them off though. I know that there's verbiage that goes with this, but I don't know what it is. Mostly because I don't see people use this a lot. Nothing has shown up on either of my counts, so it seems okay. Well, that's good at the very least. I'm probably just gonna go up the bead right next to it and skip that other one. Yeah. There you go. Ta-da! Good enough for me. Well, maybe that one and make it curve just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. And leave it alone and then work on the next fingerprint. I have 3 more of these to do. So some of them are hidden behind other fingers, obviously. This next one is going to be 1 row of the gold and 2 of the magenta. And then we'll move from the magenta to kind of a darker purple, kind of a pinkish purple. I got this one recently. Where did I get this? I bought this, I think I bought it at Art Beads just to try out a color. It is a Toho. Is it a Toho? I believe it's a Toho. Yes, 503. Because I needed a deep plum. I love this color. And it's not galvanized. Because all the purples I can find are usually galvanized. This is just a nice red iris. It's such a pretty color. It's so hard to find a purple I like. Are Tohos like delicas in shape, or are they just like seed beads? Both. Example time. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what these are though. Tohos. And this is like Bead Treasure. So these are both Japanese. But these are bigger, even though they're both size 11. So even within the same size, beads can vary in size. Confusing. These look more like size 10s, but they're actually size 11s. And these are size 11s also, but their holes are smaller and they're just different manufacturing company. All of them, almost all of them are Japanese. These ones might be Chinese. I don't know what these are. I don't know. It's a mystery. I think it came off of some junk jewelry. It's one of the blues I used in Dawn's Dragon. And so is this Toho that I'm about to show you. Because what you're used to seeing is Delicas, which are these guys on the right. This is Delica 1379. It is a Duracoat Wisteria. This is a Toho Treasure, number 932. Which, they look the same. They are the same size and shape and everything. They are interchangeable. You can use Toho Treasures and Delicas together. I find that the Tohos tend to be a little more expensive. Delicas are a little more straight and less rounded. I think that's exactly it, yeah. So these are a little more hard-edged, and these have a little bit of a softer edge to them. Slightly more rounded on the edge of the bead, but they are still cylindrical in shape. Yeah, I like them when I can get a hold of them, when I can afford them. They tend to be more expensive, but if you go to this website that I just recently bookmarked. Hey, where are my bookmarks? Bead, 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 bead. That's not right. I saved it in the wrong spot. Oh well. Beadabita.com. Wasn't sure the difference. I'm just curious because I'm looking into potentially trying to bezel some gemstones. Ooh, fancy. The differences are not noticeable when you're using them. They're really only noticeable if you're squinting at them. They act the same. It does not matter. Where are treasures? Ooh. Yeah, these prices. I can pay these prices. Okay, so I just last night, Gamer Mama showed me a website called beadabita.com, and it is a guy who offers beads at wholesale prices to the public. Look at these prices for Tohos. Like, these are fantastic. Compare them to art beads. They're half the cost, which makes them affordable. Because I only buy Tohos from art beads when they're on sale, like Toho Treasures. Because Fire Mountain's a little wobbly about carrying Toho Treasures. Every now and then. My Michaels used to carry Toho Treasures, but they don't anymore. And Eikos, there seemed to be even less difference with those. I can't tell the difference myself. Like, yeah, the holes are bigger, I guess. At any rate, like, this place sells factory packs too. So there's 10-gram packs and there's, I know, I'm scrolling. Just keep going. I'm not as familiar with Toho numbering. But yeah, $2.75 for 10 grams of Tohos. Heck yeah. And the fancy, like, metallic tones for $5.45 instead of $10. Like, yes, please. Uh-huh. I'm okay with that. Like a 50 pack of treasures for 12, a 50-gram pack of treasures for $12. You can't even find delicas in 50-gram packs for $12. That is almost impossible unless you're shopping at Aura Crystals, and if Aura Crystals has them in stock. So Beta is where I am going for all of my next seed bead orders. Unless I need super specific shades of delicas. But I am not buying beads this year unless I run out of stuff or unless I need stuff for commissions or special orders. So, fingers crossed. Here Michaels carries Tohos, but I haven't been nearly a year, so I have no idea. They probably still do. Like, beading is just as popular as it's always been, which is, you know, moderate. And just jewelry making and in general, you know, people pick up several colors of beads because they're like, oh, these are only a couple bucks a piece. I can pick up a bunch of these. And then you just have beads forever and they're like, I didn't like this medium. What do I do with this? Who can I give this to? And that's how I end up with beads. But never seed beads. It's always the big chunky stuff that I can't use and that aren't my style. I'm like, somebody buy seed beads and not like it and give it to me. But you can't be choosy when someone's like, hey, I know that you'll probably use some of this. Oh, I can't buy beads anymore until I start using the ones I got again. Lol. Cross-stitching took over Allie's life, and so now she can't buy beads. Oh, no. I know the feeling, though. It's like, I got really spendy last year. Not as bad as it could have been, but more so than normal. And so I'm like, I'm running out of space to even put my beads in. Like, as far as the containers I already own, it's like, rearrange. Ah, it fits. So I definitely can't get too many more. But I also definitely like stash busting because you come up with the weirdest color combinations that way. That work. Ones that work. Oh, Ixo actually color comboed me the other night. He doesn't usually throw color combinations at me very often. But he showed me the gif of this cat, which is a pretty kitty. Look at this. This cat. Look how beautiful. And also just those colors, man. What colors are those eyes even? Like grayish green? He sends me bead combos and stuff like this. Those browns would be so hard to match. But they're so pretty. Ugh. But I did get 2 more patterns and materials. For beads, what'd you get? I'm excited. Alright, so I'm actually picking up some more of this gold color here. This goldy green. That pretty kitty. Those browns are scrumptious. Love it. Love it, love it. Okay. I'm gonna aim for like 14, I think. But yeah, what are you planning to bead next, Allie? Because I know a lot of your cross-stitching projects were Christmas presents. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We'll see if I need more or less. No cross-stitch. No more? Did you burn yourself out? Oh, wait, no. The patterns you got are cross-stitch. Oh, are you going to bead point? Ooh. Or combination? Oh, no, don't you dare. I see what's happening. This is not happening. Okay, I'm gonna lose some beads, but it's tangled on itself. Okay, try that again. But I didn't get the knot, so there. Boop. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 6. Nope. It was silver line, but it was the wrong color. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Ta-da! Slide it down, kind of curve it to hold it in place a little bit, and then use the bottom needle to couch down every 2 beads. It sounds so much easier and faster than it is. It really is faster if you're like filling up a whole space, though. I really want to be done with the fingerprints. But like I beaded so much of this last night. I did, the purple hand was already done yesterday before I went to work, and about half of this was stitched, like this bit was stitched down. So I did the rest of the green wire, and then I finished up the toe. No, the toes were done. I did the rest of the green wire, and then I filled in all of the feathers, and then all of these guys, and this one. So it was a lot of work I did. Oh, and I did this, and I did the blue outline for the whole guy. Yeah, that's what I did. Now I want to try to make the kaleidosticks. Ooh, fancy. They are both fun and frustrating. If you have questions, let me know. I am more than happy to help. But yeah, I did message you the butterfly assembly, and it should help you out some. You have made peyote triangles before, right? I think you have, right, Allie? I know you have. I got 2 new cross stitch pattern. One is a large black cat and a rose and the lunas. Baby Cthulhu. Gotcha. Ooh, baby Cthulhu. That'd be fun. But yeah, as far as the kaleidocycles go, you make 24 triangles. And then when you have 24 triangles, you look at the instructions and you read them like 700 times. And then you like have a tiny bit of an aha moment, and then you follow the instructions, and then you mess up, and then you look at them again and go, oh, that's what I missed. And then you get it right, and then you assemble it together. You haven't made triangles? Oh man. Triangles are super duper easy. You have watched me make hundreds of them. Or 100 and something of them. I have made, at least 100 on stream. Even I can make triangles, so I know you can. Dusky chipping in with the, hey, I tried it once. Yeah, you did. And they turned out great. But yeah, Dusky, you can definitely bezel with any beads, really. And, oh yeah, you were tumbling rocks. So I would bezel those with any of the bead tubes that I sent you, actually. I wouldn't do it with Delicas or Toho Treasures. I would do it with what I sent you, if they match. If they don't match, but round beads, I would definitely do it with round beads, because bezeling is so much easier with round beads. It's like, oh, I got too many in there. I need 2 in that stitch instead of 3 in that stitch. I got distracted. Cool, that works. Yeah. I think my son and daughters would love them, right? You've mentioned before. I hope if you ever give a kaleidocycle to anybody, just preface it by saying it's not necessarily a toy. It is definitely more of movable art. Okay, how did I do? Did I stitch down in the same place twice? I think I might have. Well, that was dumb, wasn't it? Okay. I stitched down in the same place twice, guys. I am a derp. I can't do this on stream. Okay. Yeah, close. It's good. It's good. We're good. Okay. But yeah, kaleidocycles are definitely more of kinetic art than they are a toy. Just always make sure to tell that to somebody when you give it to them, so that if they break it, because they will break eventually, they will not last forever, that they know ahead of time. They can be sturdy, but they can also fall apart. It just really depends on how heavily each one is used, how often, and I think what type of thread you use. I would not use KO thread. In my experience, that seems to be the weakest one. I have one in progress that I'm using Nymo thread on. For the most part, I've been using Sono thread and haven't had too many issues. And I'm using 1G on the one I'm making for RLB. For the assembly bits. But if you have Sono, I would suggest you use that. If not, use whatever you have, but just be careful and be aware that as you turn, the thread tension the thread will have tension on it in certain places. They're super fun though, and I love them. This outer circle is always the hardest one. I want to do a different part. I'm tired of the fingerprints. It's okay. I'll live. There we go. But yeah, like I said, the butterfly assembly, I think, is so far their best method of assembling these. I'm really, really happy with already just how much less stressful it is to put it together, how much less brain power it takes to comprehend the instructions. Now, this is coming from someone who's already assembled like 6 of them. Hi Rita, how are you today? So I don't make a huge heck of a lot, but I have made several, and so far the butterfly seems to really, really stick with me. Okay, so I'm putting down the bottom needle, I'm picking up the top needle, I'm going back through all the beads just to smooth out the row. Not necessarily like straighten it up. If it were a straight line, it would straighten it up. But it smooths out how the beads sit next to each other. Always way more obvious in smaller beads than in bigger ones, but oh well. Oh, come on. And the thread will catch around your felt. I didn't actually cut my felt down to size for this one, and I don't know why. So far, it hadn't been too huge an issue, though. So, we'll see what happens. But how are you today, Rita? What are you up to? I am embroidering a hand and footprint peacock. This is the turkey. I made it in 2019. I doodled this like at the beginning of last year, very, very beginning, and never got around to it. And now I'm getting around to it. Okay. And now we are done with that gold for now. I'm actually gonna go ahead and put it up so I don't spill it, since it is just in a yogurt lid over here. I was keeping it separate because when I'm working from a bead soup and I pour it into any of these wells, I usually run out of the color I'm looking for, and so I just have to pour it into a yogurt lid anyway, so I just kind of skip that step because I'm only looking for one shade in the bead soup. So bead soups I always use out of yogurt lids. Still can't put that away. I should put this away too. Don't need it right now. Beautiful. Yes. Yes, what? Oh, sorry. I'm shaking cameras and stuff. My bad. I also want my tea. You guys like me behind me? What did I do? How did I... No, this one needs to just go back down. Got my needles mixed up. Okay. So this one, go down here. Like I want to force it slightly downwards, so I stitch it down on this side. So it makes that curve. Even there being a tiny gap, it's like whatever. I come up right next to it so that I'm going to start the next circle, half circle. They've been half circles so far, and then I'm going to put the magenta on. So get some of these out of the way. Oop. I have beads all over the place. This is no surprise to anybody, but I do have beads all over the place. Okay. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. You just slide it down. Ooh, I might get a full circle out of that one. Yeah, I'm aiming for 16 then. 13, 14, 15, 16. The good thing about that is you can always take beads off or add them on to your top line, just based off of how many beads actually want to fit in the space that you're beading. Oh no, I kind of like that aspect of it. Oh shoot. Come on, I want to go over 2, not 1. Stop sliding. They don't like to stay in place very well for me, but that's okay. I am, alas, still practicing this method. It will take me a long time to master it, which means I would have to actually use it a lot. But theoretically, you can bead faster this way. Theoretically. I have not found this to be the case with me. That's okay. I only charge by the hour, no big deal. Oh, if anybody wanted to buy this one, they'd be paying a lot, so. I don't know what I'm gonna do with him. He's huge. Like, he's way bigger than I expected. I don't know what to do with such a big piece. If I lived in a cold climate, I'd be like, okay, he can go on my jacket. But I don't live in a cold climate, so what am I gonna do with him? I don't know what to do with him. So I have a bag, but he wouldn't show up against the bag because it's just a rainbow heart backpack. But I might just have to put him on a bag or something. Pin him on a cowboy. I like how you just assume I own a cowboy hat. Just because I live in Texas doesn't mean I own a horse. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, he'd be big enough for that. He'd probably be too big for all of my hats. Just take up the entire hat. I know you probably don't, which is why I suggested. Yeah, I definitely do not own a cowboy hat. Not at all. You don't seem like a cowboy hat person, no. I'm not even like a fedora person. I keep trying to like fedoras, but it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work for me. I made a beaded fedora for Ixo once. He had one when we first got together. And I beaded it for him. But he just never wore it, so a friend of ours ended up with it instead. And so he seems to like it. It's also hand beaded, so that might be why, but I don't know if he still has it or not. It's been years. It was a fun piece to make, though. Oh yeah, just Wrath Leader has it, so like, you guys know him, kind of. Haven't seen him in a minute. He said I was gonna mail him something, but he said that he's closing on a house this week, so I hope that goes well for him. He didn't say why they were moving out of the house they're currently in. It had something to do with, like, her family. So I don't know if her family owns the house, or if she inherited it from her family, or maybe it's too much of a hassle. I'm going to imagine that they're probably moving closer to where he works. I think his new job is further away than his last one. That would make sense, is that they're moving closer to work for him. I don't know what she does. And that's the extent of my knowledge. He was gardening last year, and now he is moving, so don't know. But he has my fedora. My beaded fedora. Okay, I'm kind of glad to be done with this one. The Toho. I just find that Toho round beads are a bit bulky and big in a lot of aspects, but they're good beads and I really like them. So maybe just not for embroidery. So I think 4 should do it for this gap. I really just want to already stitch it down, but I'm gonna lay him down first. Yep, 4 is perfect. get my other one, come up and stitch them down in the middle. Yeah, I can see how this is a little bit faster than one needle. But yeah, I see how you'd have to be super practiced at it to be that much faster. Come back up and I'm gonna reinforce that little tiny line and then start on the next fingerprint. Okay. Thought my thread was catching. There we go. And it does lay flat. It's nice and pretty. Yeah. The 15s are a lot easier to do this with. That'd be a lot of 15 infill. Bring this up right next to the coil at the top of the next finger. Probably need to get up and stretch again. I bend over a lot doing this on stream. But yeah, he's coming together so far. I do like the fingerprint feathers though. I think that's kind of cool and fun. I'm thinking one of these, like, ooh, what if I just did it in the bead soup colors? But then I'd have to infill with something else. But like the feather stalks, like the stems of the feathers. So I want to do a stalk, each one, and they meet in the middle. But if I did it in the bead soup, I wouldn't know what to infill the rest of the hand with. I wish I had more options as far as 15s go, and I really, really don't. Because I do have this guy, this dark guy. But this came off of an old necklace. And it'd be cool just to have that be the stem, just in all the peacock colors. Because my first thought was just to do the blue in the stems and then fill this one in with the green and the purple. But as big as these beads are, they wouldn't be good for infill, like color fill. So I'd have to do it in 15s. So I'm going to leave him where you can see him a little bit. So maybe well, I have that green that I used for Jess earlier. That might work. So this green and that green match a little. Might fill in nice. And then this purple, and I have the magenta. Which the magenta might be cooler. But the dark purple might also be nice. Which is this color. Or maybe I could just infill with Delicas? That would be weird. But one of those two colors I could do for the purple hand. And then one of these two colors, probably the green. But the teal is more peacock traditional, but it just doesn't pick up. It just doesn't look turquoisey enough. Choices. Getting close. So many colors, yeah. And then that Toho is still kind of small. He could probably be infill for this. I don't know what to do. Ow, poking myself. Have a good night. Oh, you must go now and wash my sinus. Oh, gross. Oh, I hope you feel better. I know you've been having a rough time of it. I also have, and I was thinking about this because you know how peacock feathers have the bits that go off like this off of the main stem. I have a few Toho bugles, but I have just straight black, and then I have turquoise, and turquoise is at least in here. But what would I do for this one? Turquoise for both? Or turquoise for that one and black for this one? I don't know. Which could be nice offshoot bits, but see, I'm overcomplicating stuff. I don't know what to do once I'm done with the fingerprints. But like the stems on the sunflowers, these could just be the stems for peacock feathers, and then I go the opposite direction, just filling stuff in. I don't know things. I don't know what would be the best option. That's why I save it for last. This is what I mean about not thinking things through. It's like, oh, this part is fun, and then you get to something and you're like, don't know, man. I don't know. I kind of want to just go around the outer outline of this back and forth with just the Toho treasures. Might be. No, not the treasures. I think just this dark blue that's down here. Since it's already in here, don't add more beads. It's not necessary. It's the same color, but like it's just not necessary to add more types of beads. Try to keep what you've already put in it. And that's a hard part. That's hard for me. This is why I don't embroider often. There's a lot of brain power going into it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I just noticed it is like a hand. Yes. I'm glad that kind of took you that long to notice. That's good. That's good. That's fun with that aha moment. 14, 15. You love embroidery? 16, 17, 18. I want to go for 20. I like embroidery. I just don't do it often. So I have a hard time with it when I'm trying to come up with new things or to make things look right or balance things. Like I used to do a lot of bead embroidery as a kid because that's, you know, what you saw in the magazines was the bracelet blanks and bezeling stones and just doing the bits around the bezeled stones. You know, that's what you saw a lot, and so that's what I copied and emulated a lot. And then I just haven't really gravitated towards it often unless I have very specific ideas. And so this is one of those dumb, silly ideas I had, and I knew exactly that I wanted to do it this way. But the idea, I had it a year ago, and now I'm just now doing it because Dawn gave me an arbitrary deadline to finish it by the 20th. And I'm like, okay, I can work with that. So here I am, making something for a deadline that doesn't matter. Deadlines that do matter, on the other hand, I fall into the procrastination ranks of people who just avoid them like the plague. I avoid the plague. Most humans don't. This has been proven to be true. Oh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I didn't come up in the right spot. 1 second. Try again. I prefer back stitching because it's easier, but this method is prettier in the final result. Oh, I'm way off camera. I'm sorry. I love altering my clothes with ribbon and yarn, embroidery, and some occasional beads. Ooh, that sounds fun. Okay, I'm gonna move the camera towards me a little, just so I don't keep ending up off, out of frame. That should be better for you guys. Embroidery as embellishment is probably kind of fun. Your bags and your pillows, nice. But embroidery as the whole piece is always hard for me. I just end up being like, so much going on. I can do this. And I'm only making it for fun, so like there's no pressure to please anybody. I'm making lots of stuff for fun. I need to actually make stuff for sale. That'd be nice. Oops. But then I'd have to list it online, and I don't like listing stuff. So I have my own problems of my own making. Oh, I thought I meant to take a break here a little while back, didn't I? Whoops. That's how it always goes. You always promise yourself a break at the end of this row, and then you start a new row, and you're like, no! Now I gotta wait till the end of this row. Okay, I'm getting backwards. Okay, I kind of do wish I had cut the felt down now. It's getting a little bit bulky. That's probably one of my problems here is the felt is not cut down to size. Oh, where are you coming up? Gotta help it along. Hope it goes in the right spot. There we go. Scoot these beads out of the way. I don't need them anymore. I really just resisting the urge to backstitch everything. Like, no, don't do that. Oh, I might need one more. Okay. Yep, one more. Okay. Get in there. Okay. Take these beads off of here. And since I stitched down at the end there, I can just go back through the whole row, and that will smooth it out a little, which will probably be a little bit easier to see since these are 15s instead of 11s. There we are. Ta-da! Okay. Tack it down. Come up next to it and put the piece down so I can get up and stretch. This is also putting a little bit of strain on my left arm, oddly. Weird. It's a little different. Okay, so we got another fingerprint in the works, and then we have the thumbprint last, and then I'm kind of at a loss what to do next with it after that point. But for now, I am gonna stand up. I suggest you guys do the same. Get up, stretch, relax, get something to drink or eat. Ooh, I might get something to eat real quick. What time is it? I am hungry. Oh, it's 4:30. I have some other stuff going on today. I might actually just end stream. I don't know. No, maybe, yeah. Yeah. I kind of don't like working on this on stream, actually. Yeah, feeling a bit shorter of a stream today. Now sitting in a chair waiting for my supper. I need to go find my own supper. I am actually very hungry. Ugh. So I got this much done. It's not too bad, I suppose. I've only been live 2.5 hours, but I think I'm gonna call it a short stream. We are in the middle of like house cleaning and rearranging and purging and stuff. So yeah, let us find who else is live right now. Oh shoot. My stream title wasn't even right today. Nobody said anything. Oh man. Oh, I really miss Streamlabs having the pop-up because I always forget to edit my stream title all the time. Sorry about that, guys. So sorry. Let's see who is live. Looks like Kaya's working on the Lunar Princess Sal. Lumi's live as well. Sarah Dawn Designs. Cute jeweler making something. 3D modeling. 2-finger ring with diamond pattern. Sweet. I think I'm gonna say hi to Kaya. Just to chill out and she won't hate me too much for raid and running because I'm hungry. Later. Enjoyed listening while I relax. I enjoyed having you here too, Allie. I hope you heal fast and feel better soon. Very, very definitely. But yeah, I will be back another time. Sorry, this wasn't my usual stream day. I know that makes a difference sometimes. But it is food time. I got a little bit done on the sky. I'm happy about that. And I will see you in Kaya's channel in a little bit. Hey. Start that raid. And you guys have a wonderful day. Have a good afternoon. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I burned myself out on this project almost all in a single day. So, oops. I can't have just starts though. That's not right. So I will finish him. I will finish him before the 20th. I will post update progress pictures in the Discord. And I will see you guys there after stream at some point. So, I'm gonna go find food. Go find food. See you later. Have a good time. Bead you later. All that jazz.
Speaking of raids, Vanishing Pearl! Vanishing Pearl! Oh my gosh! Hello! I think my pre-roll's on, so I'll give you all a moment to get in here. Hey, Ali Juno, Vanishing Pearl, welcome on in, Raiders. I'm doing a co-stream with Blueberry Bubbly. We are both